This is KWCH 12 Eyewitness News this morning.
We start with a live look at radar as a line of showers is moving across Kansas right now. Meteorologist Jake Dunn is tracking the rain live in-house this morning. We brought him in just in case these storms get out of hand, but we're still at least 6 feet apart. Jake, you are in the Weather Center. Welcome back, and what are you tracking? Breaking news overnight, the Associated Press reports Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard launched a military satellite into orbit. Previous attempts failed. Foreign policy analysts say this latest move by Iran is meant to intimidate the U.S. The Guard did not give specifics on the launch, but it did call it a great achievement. Tensions remain high between Tehran and Washington because the nuclear deal fell apart. Iran is also still upset with the U.S. for the drone strike that killed General Qasem Soleimani in January. We expect new data from KDHE today showing the number of new coronavirus cases in Kansas. Right now, there are 2,025 total. This green line on the bottom here is especially important. We want to point out the drop in new cases. There were 39 yesterday compared to 137 the day before. KDHE says this is a good sign. Some Kansans plan to protest at the State House in Topeka tomorrow, demanding Governor Kelly lift the stay-at-home order. The protest is scheduled for noon. Organizers of Operation Gridlock Topeka are telling attendees to stay in their cars, though, circle the State House and honk their horns. Attendees are also encouraged to wave signs and flags. The protest video we're showing you right now is from across the nation and other parts of the country. The protesters argue the stay-at-home order is unnecessary and a violation of their rights as citizens here in Kansas. Government and health officials argue the order is necessary to slow the spread of COVID-19. The business closures have led to significant cuts in the state's tax revenue. Estimates show a decrease of $1.2 billion in state revenue through 2021. The state was expecting to have an ending balance of $900 million for the fiscal year ending June 30th, in just a few months here. That's now been reduced to $200 million. Governor Kelly says with the general funds left over from this year, the state could be $450 million in the red. The state's taking measures to shore up funds, but unfortunately, more cuts are needed.
One option the governor has is something called allotments, where she can just kind of start cutting stuff across the board. Hopefully, that's kind of the last resort. You like I said, you hold positions open, you cut the non-essential stuff.
It's currently up in the air whether state lawmakers will return to Topeka again this year to address these new estimates and find ways to balance the budget. Last month, they passed a budget and other essential items before wrapping up the session early because of the pandemic. We have a Fact Finder 12 alert if you recently applied for a small business loan. The Small Business Administration says about 8,000 applicants may have had their personal information exposed on the application site. The info included financial information, social security numbers, taxpayer ID numbers, addresses, and birth dates. The SBA says it immediately disabled the impacted portion of the site and relaunched the application portal. The SBA says there's no evidence to suggest the information was misused. However, it is offering affected applicants 1 year of free credit monitoring.
We're learning more from the Kansas Department of Labor on a timeline when you can see a $600 boost in unemployment benefits. The state says that program should start this week, but some people won't be seeing that money until next week. Here's what you need to know so you can plan financially. KDOL says if it deploys the $600 today, you would not see that payment this week if you filed your unemployment claim on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, because those claims have already been processed. Instead, you would see your $600 payment start the following week. But if you file your claim today or later, you should see the $600 included in this week's payment. Once the payment is issued, it takes about 2 days to process and show up in your bank account. Just as a reminder, these payments are retroactive from March 29th. Kansas Labor Secretary Delia Garcia says the first check will include the retroactive payments.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Ty and I social distancing. Hi, Ty. Hey, we've heard from a lot of you about your frustrations and difficulties filing for unemployment here in Kansas. For one woman, that struggle has been a matter of life and death. Alex Flippin spoke with her about trying to get the money she needs, not just to live day to day, but to live, period.